how to defeat a problem. Most importantly, he must work with integrity. Students, isn't it inspiring? Indeed, it is. So let's get inspired because you are the leaders of tomorrow. Leadership was said to be a trait that refers to personal qualities that define effective leaders. It has been a matter of discussion rather from decades, whether the leaders are born or made. And I'm pretty sure that if we talk on this topic even today, there will be a lot of discussions, debate, and difference in opinion. So, if you look into it, among the various theories of leadership, behavioral theory of leadership is a big leap from trait theory. I will not speak much on this topic. Rather, I would like to invite Colonel Dr. M.Z.U. Siddiqui, who is here with us today and will join on the session to discuss more and share his viewpoints on a special day like International Students' Day. But before that, I should introduce him to you all. Colonel M.Z.U. Siddiqui, Armored Regiment, has served the Indian Armed Forces for 38 years. He has been decorated with the Gallantry Award of Sena Medal by the President of India while fighting with militants in counter-insurgency operations in Northeast. He had been similarly decorated with many medals while operationally deployed in various sectors. He acquired his master's in chemistry from DAV College Kanpur. While in service, he continued to pursue his academic qualifications with great zeal and enthusiasm. He did his PG diploma in business management from Pune University, mass communication from Jawaharlal Nehru University, second master's in defense and strategic studies from Gorakhpur University. He qualified NET examination for research and did his PhD on HIV/AIDS in Indian Armed Forces, a case study in Northeast. Kanal Siddiqui is a popular author. He writes regularly in various magazines and journals. He has authored more than 7 books so far, which all the books are internationally published. He writes and recites Urdu poetry. He is seen regularly on various platforms, reading his poetry among renowned poets. Colonel Siddiqui, just a second. Colonel Siddiqui also involves himself in various social activities. He has his own NGO, Husna Women and Child Development and Education Society since 2009, in association with PRET, a foundation, another NGO, working in rural areas in the field of rural women and children. I think that's more than a big introduction. Let us all welcome Colonel Siddiqui to join us today. Colonel Siddiqui, please share. The platform is yours.
Thank you very much, Divya, for such an elaborate introduction. But let me tell you, I don't deserve so many accolades before I prove myself what I talk to my students. My dear students, let me wish you all the very best in on the auspicious day of International Students' Day. As she said it very rightly, it's the birthday of our great President APJ Abul Kalam. My dear students, remember, President Kalam came from uneducated parents, but he was lucky to have, he himself writes in his book Wings of Fire, that he was very lucky to have educated teachers. And that's what, more than a politician, more than a missile man, he was a greatest teacher. He left this mortal world in Shillong while delivering a lecture. What can be a greater attribute to a teacher? So, my dear friends, today I will be talking to you on a very important aspect of leadership, and that is behavioral leadership. I have, as she said it, almost 4 decades in armed forces. Instead of quoting very many books or very many leadership masters, I will be talking to you from my personal experience. And my personal experience says, झूठ की टहनी कभी फलती नहीं, झूठ की टहनी कभी फलती नहीं, नाव कागज की कभी चलती नहीं. My dear students, if you want to be a true leader, and a behavior leadership you want to learn, first and foremost, get on to this idea that's only the truth and truth prevails, and it makes you most effective. You don't have to resort to any kind of wrongs, lies, or anything. Now, before everybody has got definition of leadership. Once Divya just said it uh, uh, to all of you just few minutes back during my introduction. And there are billions of bloody people have written on leadership. But my personal experience says leadership is nothing, my friend. It is just an influence of your personal power. There is nothing known as positional power. You may be taken airlifted and made to sit on a tip of the mountain Everest. But if you are dwarf, people will say, look at the dwarf sitting on the tip of the mountain, you don't become a charismatic person. The moment that position is removed, that leadership is removed and it finishes. So, what's up? Leadership is nothing, but it's an influence of your personal power. What qualities you have. Leadership is not about making another leader. Leadership is all about, I feel, making a leader who can make thousands of leaders. It's a community job. फूल खुशबूदार होना चाहिए. A flower must have a fragrance. फूल खुशबूदार होना चाहिए, हवा खुद ब खुद उड़ा ले जाएगी. If you have the fragrance of the flower, my dear students, the wind takes you on its own. You don't have to do anything. आग, आग, leader, a light. Leader आग लगाता है सामने, दिल में, पीछे नहीं. So, behavioral leadership is all about your personal behavior, your personal charisma, which influences the surroundings and environment. Now, I'll give you two great examples of my personal life so that you understand what is behavioral leadership. In the year 1993 or something, I was posted in a sector, in a desert sector in a brigade, where a country has to go through almost war with Pakistan. So armed forces are mobilized. All these battlefields, and actually for the first time in history, they ordered laying of the live minefields. I'm sure you understand what minefield is. Mines are those, you have seen a border film, you can see those mines blowing and blasting. So this actual minefields were laid. And in a minefield, उसके अंदर सेफ लेन्स बनाई जाती हैं ताकि जो माइन लगाने जाएं तो वो सेफ्टी से वहां पहुंच जाएं पूरे जवान हमारे, और जब वो वापस आए माइंस को निकालना है तो बिना कैजुअलिटी हुए वो उन माइंस को निकाल सके. तो while those mines were laid, accidentally, there's a trip wires. One Jawan tripped over the mine and it blasted and blew up his leg. When he blew up his leg, what happened? There were two choices. One is to leave him. He is almost 80% badly injured, loss of blood. There's no only 20% chance of his survival. Now you have two choices. Either you let him be there, or you make an effort to go and get your man, get your buddy, get your soldier. A difficult decision. And there comes the behavioral leadership. I said there is no question of leaving our men there, our man there. We followed the drill. There's a proper drill how to retrieve your injured man and go into the minefield. Like following the procedure, the battle drills, we moved in. And the process of getting our man alive, we lost 3 men and 2 injured. And we got him back to the safe places. And by the time he was evacuated to the hospital, we lost the man. Now, any thinking person will think, what a waste. You could not even save the man who was injured, and you lost 3 more people. My dear students, But that has got the effect on the morale of the men, thousands of men who are deployed and go to war, that whatever may happen, a leader, our officer, will not leave us to die. So your personal conduct, your personal behavior gives a greatest message to thousands of the followers, the community you are leading, than protecting your own life. It's a very big thing. Behavioral leadership, my friend, it emanates from your personal behavior, your personal power. It has got influence not only to one individual, but to entire community. I don't want to name people, all these political parties, all these corporate organizations, all these spiritual organizations. You see these Babas, there is no, how they influence masses. That is the behavioral leadership. It's behavioral leadership, my friend. It's not an activity. It's a process. It's ever increasing, ever growing, ever expanding, ever improving. It's got a cascading effect. You work as an individual light, a lamp which alights 1,000 lamps. That's why I tell my friends, all my students, all my audiences, wherever I speak, as regards behavioral leadership, कि परों को खोल, open your wings. जमाना उड़ान देखता है. World watches your flight. जमीन पे बैठकर क्या आसमान देखता है. What are you sitting on the branches on the earth and looking at the skies? Take a leap and see everybody follow suit. Take a leap yourself. Take a flight and stop all kinds of support system. गैर परों से उड़ सकता है हद से हद दीवारों तक. From external supports, external wings, you can take a maximum flight from one wall to another. गैर परों से उड़ सकता है हद से हद दीवारों तक. अंबर तक तो वही उड़ेंगे जिनके अपने पर होंगे. Only those will fly to the skies. Those who take a flight by their own wings. Drop all kinds of stuff. You want to learn the biggest lesson of the behavioral leadership? Improve your behavior. Become the master of your destiny. कि तुमको देखकर सब यही कहे, क्या रंग है, क्या रूप है, क्या हुस्ने जमाल है, कि तुम भीड़ में भी निकलो तो तन्हा दिखाई दो. You should be like a 1,000-watt bulb if you really want to impress and influence the surroundings and make them worth living. My dear friend, behavioral leadership, or in fact all kinds of leadership, are meaningful only when you have the ability to unite the people being you are leading or you are influencing the community to a common purpose. If you have your own purpose, if you have your own goal, people will come work for you surely with your hands and the legs. But if you combine their goal with your goal or institution's goal, then they will come with their head and the heart. Community cannot be built without common purpose. Leadership is ineffective without a common purpose. Some people come with their heads and legs, I said, while the other who get influenced by you, who get motivated by you, they come with their head and heart. I hope I am being heard because I cannot see anybody. Am I being heard by everybody?
Yes, very fine.
Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you, because I cannot see anybody. So I thought it's the monologue going on. You see?
No. We are enjoying you.
Everybody listening, sir. Everybody listening.
Yeah, that sounds.
There are
That's-
100 participants and all of them are listening you, sir.
I'm enjoying now. Now this voice gives me the spirit. Okay, you tell me when to stop. Otherwise, I'll continue talking. I'll put you to
Our
sleep.
videos are on.
Yeah, my dear Deva. Remember, behavioral leadership. I gave you one incident. I'll give you, from my personal experience, another incident, which is seen where the behavioral leadership matters in influencing the people or the troops I commanded. In 1999, I'm sure you all must have heard the place called Manipur. Can anybody tell me what is the capital of Manipur? Any student? Tell me what's the capital of Manipur?
Imphal.
I love you. Well, I love you. Wonderful.
Imphal.
Good. I heard it. So I was posted in. There's a place called Chandel. Chandel district is a district in Manipur.
ये
It
रख दो।
is, and there's another place called More. Hello. Now More is a border town between Burma and India. So I get, and this place is infested with militants of NSC and IM, Muiva, and so many Kanchan militants, so many militancy out there. So I get information that in More, the NSC and Isaac Muiva group militants, they crossed from the Burma border because of porous border. और उन्होंने आके SBI का मोरे में बैंक लूट लिया है और पूरे बैंक के करीब 60 लाख रुपए लेके वो escape कर रहे हैं. So जहां से जब we got our network of all information. So when I got the information, so we got to know they're moving towards a place called Ambreshu, on a mountain, huge, it's all hilly area, and at top of the village, about 30 kilometers from More and my place, another. So by the time militants could reach the village and they stay for the night to start again in the morning, I have to capture them or reach there, cordon them so that, and then catch them, fight them so that they don't escape next day morning. Anyway, we walked by foot, by vehicle, and somehow late night we could able to cordon that area, that village. And militants are also very trained. They put their soldiers on a guard so that nobody can infiltrate in the village. And they look like a villagers only. They got a Mongol race, like Chinese, smart-looking, short people. All those eyes, those short, small eyes, you must be aware of these, or kind of these, not horrible looking like us. They are very smart, right? So now, what happened? I cordoned the area with my 30 Jawans. And early in the morning, first light, I started moving into the village, climbing the hill. You know, while we are climbing up, though they noticed us and they opened fire. 2.5 hours, there were exchange of fire. We killed about 7 militants. I got shot myself. I lost 2 my Jawans. I got in my hand all this bleeding, but I didn't faint or die. When you're fighting for troops, you forget about your own wounds. But now, after the battle, they escaped. We recovered all the money. We got M16, 6 weapons, and dead bodies of militants and some alive. And I was also bleeding profusely. So immediately the message was passed. A helicopter comes to evacuate me to the hospital. Believe me, now comes behavioral leadership. My 2 Jawans are dead and 4 were injured. So I ensured that before they left me, because from that jungle area, evacuated to Imphal, then further to Calcutta in a chopper, it's a fear that you may lose your life. So much of profuse bleeding. But I made sure, no, I may die, but my Jawans must be evacuated first. There comes the behavioral leadership example, exemplary behavioral leadership. We could save those Jawans. Those who are dead, we couldn't do anything, but we could save. And I was again evacuated. Today I'm talking to you. That means I'm so surely saved. You see? setting a personal example at the time of crisis, at the point of decision, considering not your personal safety or your personal goals, but the institutional goal or the organization goal, is called behavioral leadership. I've given you these two incidences. There are many more. You will find in everyday life that there are certain people, they influence, they make you, they really inspire you by the way they dress up, the way they talk, the way they introduce themselves, the way they handle situations. You, any observant person can make out very, very simply that behavioral leadership is exhumed, is a child or of itself. मैंने जैसे पहले कहा, बिहेवियर लीडरशिप जो इस किस्म के लीडर्स होते हैं जो अपने तहजीब से, मेरी किताब थी, I have written my fifth book. I've written 10 books, not 7 so far. So my fifth book was everything you always wanted to know about etiquettes. I mentioned this behavioral leadership in there and write, if your behavior is above board, ba-adab, ba-nasib, be-adab, be-nasib, it starts reflecting in your words, in your written expression, in your verbal expression, in your dealing with people. और जिस तरफ तुम्हारी नजरें, तुम्हारी आंखों में वो दम आ जाता है कि जिस तरफ उठ गई दम में दम आ गया. If your eyes fall somewhere where the dead man starts walking, that is behavioral leadership. If I talk to you, and if I meet you ever once, anyone, I means anyone, and the person you are meeting, तुम्हारे जाने के बाद अगर उसको ये ख्याल आए कि good riddance to bad rubbish, then you are a bad leader. You give a negative vibes. अगर उसको ये ख्याल आए कि when will I meet this young lady or young man again? इससे दोबारा कब मिलूंगा? How sweet. You are proof to yourself that you are behavioral leadership. You're topping the top. You see, you should be like a bud in the sea. At that morning breeze, cold wind, which touches your body, and we wait for it to come again, my dear children. There are certain points I would like you to note down if you want to really learn the basics of the behavioral leadership. I just say in a point form. Firstly, behavioral, the leaders, such leaders, they always anticipate next change. They are thinking, they are always applying their brains, and they anticipate the next change which is about to come and adapt themselves to face the new challenge. They never give up. So, and such leaders, first point, they anticipate the next change. The second point, they are always courageous to let go the past, abandon the past. They don't get stuck in the past glories. It does not matter what you have done in past or what you were in past. It just matters what are you now. Abandon the past. Move on to the being present. Be effective now so that tomorrow is better. So behavioral leadership, the good leaders, they are courageous, very courageous to abandon the past. They take all sorts of approaches, new approaches, and try it out. They don't just always follow the beaten path. These kind of leaders, they build attitude of cooperation. No one heals, my dear students, ever by wounding others. Don't waste your time in backbiting. Don't waste time on finding fault in others. I'm telling you, no one ever, have you asked yourself, no one has ever been able to heal his or her wound by wounding others. So you build the attitude of cooperation. मेरे सुर मेरा तुम्हारा तो सुर बने हमारा साथी हाथ बढ़ाना. All these things are knowing. एक अकेला थक जाएगा मिलकर. So you got to build the attitude of the cooperation. Then a good leader, a behavioral leadership, by his action. The fourth thing I say, it act or the responsibility of the society and act ethically. Any action of yours, you will always keep the ethics in front of you. Any decision of yours, it should not be that it should be unethical. Wrong means to follow means matter, my dear students. A good leader always act with ethics. They accept the responsibility of the society by their one word, action, one decision. You see, if they sow a wrong seed, the fruits are going to be unbearable and poisonous. It's going to affect the society in negative. So keep that ethics always in fire, all this thing in front of you before taking any action or decision. A good leader, they always realize, they know, they can understand what is that my people I'm leading, they get motivated with. Not that what I get motivated with. I get motivated if somebody gives me good ice cream, thangu ka laddu, I get motivated. But that is not my motivation. As a leader, I will see what my audience, my students, the people I'm leading, the team I'm leading, what they get motivated by. The moment you start working with their motivation, desires, things become. Then you have people with you with their head and heart. Otherwise, if you have a personal motive, then you have people with leg and hands, nothing. Thak jayega. If you want, Jamshed Tata so beautifully said, if you want to win a race, if you want to run faster, you may win a race, but you don't go very long. If you take run with everybody, you may not win a race, but you will go very long. Aim to go long, aim to go far. Individuals do not matter. I have got a limited shelf life. You have got a limited shelf life. But my country remains. These institutions remains. They are for eternity. So every action of yours matter. Take right decision. Now, I give 3 A's in my understanding for a behavioral leadership. 3 A's. Acronym I said this thing. One is always I said anticipate. First A, anticipate. Anticipate things much before anybody. Then adapt yourself to those changes, those challenges accordingly so that you don't give up and totally taken by surprise. You're prepared to deal with any unforeseen eventuality. When a military man goes for a war, he has all possible contingency thought of and planned. If enemy attacks me from front, what will I do? If he strikes from the right, what will I do? If he strikes from the left, what will I do? If he comes from behind, what will I do? I'll regroup. So that at any eventuality, any contingency, I beat the enemy and save the life of men I'm commanding or become victorious. There is no substitute to victory. Vijay, ya Siddha Virgati. There is no second thing in life. You got to be winner. You got to be victorious. You got to be effective. सरदार होना बिल्कुल जरूरी नहीं. Position असरदार होना चाहिए. You can be effective only when you follow the points I have said. Now, next day I said anticipate, adapt to those challenges, then act. Third is act. If you don't act and only anticipate and adapt, the whole exercise, whole leadership fails. It's very important to understand, my dear friends, that the gist of the behavioral leadership can be said that competence, there is no substitute to competence. Character, your character has to above board, strong. And you should always, if you want to be ethical, you should have empathy. Without competence, without character, without empathy, you remain no more a leader. Understand what these words I am telling you. They can be described in volumes. You see, I am just telling whatever comes to mind in most distilled and crystal form. Always have consideration for others. Always have, you see, in improving the infrastructure for facilitating the the work culture and the better output. You should ensure that your behavior is always effective. You should have the sense of mind. You should have the brains to identify if you're working with 10 people or 20 people or 100 people around you. If you're a good leader, you should be able to identify between effective behavior people and ineffective people. Those people have effective behavioral pattern built upon them, and those people are ineffective. You got to work greater on them so that they come on board. And there's something called behavior modification. We will talk about it. That's a subject in itself. Instead of developing personality, this is called personality development. If Zahid, if I do not have a basic latent of personality, how can you develop it? So you have to have the basics of, if you have a small seed in you, it can be developed. Personality cannot be developed. It can be developed. It cannot be put into, sowed into you. So similarly, related subject in psychology, great subject, and I have great deal of it. I have spoken on that, behavioral modification. Instead of sowing those seeds, what the subject says, all leaders, what they try to bring modification in that particular behavior or a trait so that it becomes effective, from ineffective to become effective. You all are a management students. Tomorrow going to join some institution, some corporate sector, some work culture. Wherever you go, you'll be working with people. Immediately get down to understand all these things I've told you, that whether you are an autocratic leader or a democratic leader. If you are an autocratic leader, you will lead nowhere. You will reach nowhere. You cannot push people to work. You can't have everybody working, dancing to your tune, and you are the only one who takes all the decision. Everybody is accountable to you. You wouldn't go very far. But if you are a democratic leader, what you'll do? You will delegate your responsibilities and authorities to other people. You will have greater credence and credibility, and give them more opportunity to show their skill, and give them little more accountability, give them little more power. It is better for a leader to learn the importance of being a democratic leader. Autocratic leader always fail. They don't reach to the point where one is expected to reach in any profession. The second important thing, my dear students, very important to understand, is that you should, when we go for after your management courses, when you go to any institution, I'm telling you my experience from armed forces as an army officer almost for 4 decades. Grant me, I must have seen something, I've done something, and all those education she lifted out. This is just distal wisdom. If you anywhere, if you are employee centered, there are two kinds of approaches working in any organization. One is the employee centered approach, and the second is the job centered approach. Now, what is this employee centered approach? This leader, this boss, positional leader who has become, he is employee centered. He only bothers or cares for needs of the people. Leaders supporting individuals. Whereas the job centered behavior, or the leader, he will be always concerned not for the need of the employee, but more for the need of the organization. As I said it earlier, he is very comfortably added from the individual goals to the common goal of the employee. Every employee thinks that this is my goal, that the institution should achieve this, and it should reach to this level. So job-oriented leader, job-oriented behavioral leadership, it always focuses towards the need of the organization. Good companies, good employees, good bosses, they will do everything, and their work will always focus towards work environment facilitation, making it better working condition. We are individual. No two peoples or human being are alike. We are not robots or zombies or cut and paste produced. No. So it's a very a great amount of skill required to understand human beings, understand human values, understand morality, understand ethics, and understand the very purpose we have got together. That's the difference between a professional and anybody else. A professional never forgets. He always keeps. In army, when we pass out, the Chetwood Hall motto is so explicit and so beautiful. If every countryman of mine, every student put this principle before the wherever he is working, the country will be something different. And the principle is, the Chetwood Hall motto is that the welfare of my country comes first and always first. The welfare of my troops I command comes second and always second. The welfare of my self, my own welfare, comes last, always and every time. But what is happening? For me, for this thing, my welfare is always first and every time. You tell me, how can I be called a leader? And how can I understand the kind of words I have spoken to you? My dear students, remember, you have an attitude, न हौसला कभी हारे हैं और न हारेंगे. And oh my motherland, तुम्हारे इश्क में ये जिंदगी गुजारेंगे. Every action of mine, every decision of mine, every word of mine ultimately will be beneficial to my great country and to countrymen. We have to see that all these kinds of things which I have told you, you cannot assimilate it in one talk and everything you become suddenly a switch on, become a leader. It's not an overnight journey. They say Nietzsche was a great philosopher. He said, you get chickens from eggs by hatching, not by smashing. So it's a process. Every day you got to work towards it consciously. If you remain unconscious, small thing. When I see young students unshaven, कि उनके नाखून नहीं कटे हुए, दाढ़ी बनी नहीं हुई है, बाल आइंस्टीन की तरह फैले हुए, I get my BP goes shoots up. कि this student, the future of a nation, he can't even shave himself properly, he can't have his hair cut proper, he can't cut his own nails, his personal hygiene is so shabby. How can be of utility to nation? What he'll do it for nation and the people of this country? So take a resolve. If you want to establish yourself, prove yourself a great behavioral leader, a behavioral leadership or a leader, you start taking great care on your personal hygiene. When you come out of a house, you should be totally reasonably perfect. People should look at you, they feel better and nice. You should not be burdened on your parents. Do your own bed. Take nice bath. Brush at least twice. Don't. People should not be scared of coming near you if you stink. Your mouth stinks. You see. So all these things, including, they are part of the behavioral leadership. What I have discussed, my friend. Remember, if your personal power, if your personal qualities are dependent on any second factor, that external factor, those are not going to last for very long, because external factors are temporary. The moment you remove them, what is going to happen? Your whole charisma, whole leadership falls flat. So develop khudi ko kar buland itna. Iqbal has said so beautifully, khudi ko kar buland itna कि हर तदबीर से पहले खुदा खुद बंदे से ये पूछे बता तेरी रजा क्या है. Rise yourself so much that even the God, before taking any decisions on you, on your actions, on your words, he'll ask you, my son, what do you want? Tell me, it will happen that way. To reach that heights, you got to work very hard. मिटा दे अपनी हस्ती को अगर कुछ मर्तबा चाहे कि दाना खाक में मिलकर गुले गुलजार होता है. Look at the The moment how the way farmer works in a field, he sows one seed, उसको जमीन में गाड़ता है, उससे जो है 1000 दाने जमीन फाड़ कर निकलते हैं. You see, nothing. There is no free lunches in this world. There is no shortcut to excellence. So consider all those things, and nobody can help you. You yourself only can have that factor. My dear students, I will continue. Give me an indication. Otherwise, I'll continue on and on. There are many things I want to share and talk to you.
Students are, Colonel, students are so willing to ask so much from you that.
Now, please let them ask a question. We will definitely let's have a question.
I have a list of students which a list of questions which students have already raised with us to ask from you. So
please go ahead.
So should we continue with the question answer round? Have some more discussion over there?
As you feel. Yeah, please go ahead.
Because your words are so awesome to hear that I think everybody must be in the session. But
you don't worry. उनको सवाल पूछने दो.
These questions also, and in between, what you talked about attitude for students, I just remember 2 lines of APJ Abdul Kalam which I frequently quote, and they are really beautiful. He somewhere said that all birds find shelter during rain, but it's only eagle that avoids rain and flies above the cloud. So basically, the problems are common. It is the attitude that makes the difference.
He was very right, and I say कि सितारों के आगे eagle's view, सितारों के आगे जहां और भी है, अभी इश्क में इंतहा और भी है. तू शाहीन है, you are a bird. तू शाहीन है, परवाज है काम तेरा. Your job is to fly. इस आसमां के आगे आसमां और भी हैं. There is no end to
exactly
rising high.
Beautiful. So allow me to call upon students.
Yeah,
and yes, we have Archie Singhania from MBA. Archie, can you hear me? Please unmute yourself and come on video to ask the question. Archie, do we have you?
Yes, ma'am.
Go ahead.
Hello, good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon, Archie, please.
Sir, my question is that how behavioral leadership is helpful for students? Although I think you have partially answered my question already, but still I would like to know this thing.
Archie, listen, leadership is an English word. Don't you think it's a natural desire of every human being, anyone? You see, to be noticed. Am I right or wrong? You're getting my point?
Sir, you're not audible. Can you please repeat?
There's a natural desire of every human being. Forget about leadership. It's an English huge big word. It's a natural desire of every human being to be noticed.
Yes, sir, definitely.
Yeah, definitely. All our effort, you see, even the animals. तुम किसी मेंढक को जरा सा हल्का सा पत्थर मार के देना कंकर, he will start bloating double. Why? He wants to show that he is double his size. He is very big. You see, that's a natural instinct that we want to be noticed. And if you want to be noticed in भीड़ है क़यामत की, फिर भी हम अकेले हैं. If you want to be noticed, then you should have some unique quality in you. Am I right? Looks alone will not take you anywhere. It is the words you speak. It is the acts you do. It is, इसे कहते मैं कहता हूँ ना, a beautiful is not what beautiful looks. A beautiful is what beautiful does. You see? So if you have that unique, anything which is good in you, it will be noticed, and others who will notice you, they will like to emulate, and that is what leadership is going to be effective and helpful.
Exactly. Well said. Well said.
Yeah.
Archie, I think your question is well answered over here. We have Shivani Vishkarma from MBA. Shivani, can you hear me, please?
Yes, ma'am.
Please go ahead with your question.
Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Shivani, please.
So please tell us, what are the most important qualities of a good leader?
I already said it. but I'll tell you, first and foremost is honesty. मैंने कहा था ना पहला शेर मेरा, तुम भूल गई शायद, कि झूठ की टहनी कभी फलती नहीं, नाव कागज की कभी चलती नहीं. You see, lies and manipulation, all these things mars you. It cannot. If you want to be really effective and to succeed and become a leader, then you got to be honest to yourself, and there is no question of copying. Aping will not make you leader at all. Retain your originality, accept yourself fully, honestly, and never be shy of anything. Let me tell you, my dear child, where fear ends, where success begins. You see, as long as you're fearful of anything, of any handicap you have, I can quote you people, blind people writing books. I can quote you people with no legs running Olympics race. I can quote you people with no hand doing archery. I can quote you people with no legs and hands making such beautiful painting from the mouth. There is no end to it. You see? So, honesty. Honestly accepting yourself with your limitations and with your strengths, there won't be anybody like you, my child.
Very true. Very true. Moral science has taught us honesty is the best policy.
Policy.
Exactly. So let's proceed. We have Lopa Murdra, sorry, from MBA. Lopa, are you there?
Yes, ma'am. Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon,
Good
ma'am.
afternoon.
Good afternoon, Lopa.
My question is that, sir, why is behavioral leadership required in management?
This is the most effective. There's the most effective and the most important quality required in a management. You see, you understand what is a difference between a manager and a leader? A manager, management. He manages, simply manages anything, right? He just manages
Yes,
things.
sir.
But a leader, managers do not have vision. But leaders have vision. They anticipate things. They can see what is coming up. So in a management, the aim of the management is not only to make you just a supervisor or manager somewhere. These are basics aim. When I did from Symbiosis my management course, I topped that course. You see, although I was an officer then, so my equation with students were different. But I can tell you with firm conviction that proceed to become a leader, not a manager. Manager is a first step. If you can't manage 5 people, 10 people, 50, how can you anticipate, envision, have a vision to see things 5 years on or 10 years on? No, you can't. So it's a basic exercise. It's very important to learn the management skills, because without training, without learning these basic skills, my dear child, you don't learn anything on its own. You see? So concentrate on the basic principles of management, not to become a manager, to become a leader ultimately. But you have to, this is a process. You got to be manager first, learn management, then become a leader.
Right.
Thank you, sir.
A pretty debatable topic.
Yeah.
We have Ankit Singh from MCA. Ankit, are you here?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Ankit, go ahead.
Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon, Ankit.
Good afternoon.
My question is, what is the importance of communication skills in behavioral leadership? Please guide us on this.
Wonderful. Let me tell you, my dear friend, without communication, everything falls flat. Communication is the only 2 words. If you can understand what management, anything, anywhere, any profession, if you do not have these 2 C's, I say, communication first and second, the confidence, you can never succeed, you cannot become anything. कौन सी बात कहाँ कैसे कही जाती है, ये सलीका हो तो हर बात सुनी जाती है. बच्चा बोलना सीख जाता है, पहले 1-2 साल में बोलना सीखता, मैं पूरी जिंदगी नहीं सीख पाता क्या बोलना और कैसे बोलना है. If you communication is one thing without which your journey to success cannot begin. So art of communication is very important in not only in management, in every field. You cannot be confident if you cannot express yourself well. One of the evil genius, Adolf Hitler, if you have heard the name, he writes in his book Mein Kampf, he writes, one of the greatest asset a human being can have is it is the asset of expression, right? So learn the art of communication. What I'm doing with you, had I been poor in communication, my dear friend, you think last 1.5 hours I'll be able to talk to you? You would have seen my face again, this very horrible looking old man. We don't want to see him. But it's only communication. It's a media. You can have far too many best ideas. And if you lack in communication, you cannot pass on to the next person. You see? You see
I
it?
I was about to say that the best example is here only. This question is well answered by hair in the session. Right.
Okay. Yeah, right.
And, we move ahead. Next question is from Ankit Verma. He is also a student of MBA. Ankit, please ask your question.
Thanks, ma'am, for taking my question. Good afternoon, sir. So
Hi,
you quoted Tata that if you want to go fast, you've got to walk alone, and if you want to walk far away, you walk in group. In that context, I'm asking you this question: how far, according to you, is chasing own passion and dreams fruitful to a student rather than following the masses?
A good question. Let me tell you, my friend, as regard how far going, there is no ultimate destinations, okay? The moment you reach one level, मैंने कहा अभी कि तू शाहीन है, you're a bird. परवाज है काम तेरा. Your job is only to take a high flight. इस आसमां के आगे आसमां और भी हैं. There are many skies too high. Never limit yourself any fixed destination. Once you go one peak, you set yourself to the next peak. Because if you reach the destination, however higher it may be, my friend, and you then there's a void there, gap there. You don't know what to do. Even this achievement becomes null and void. Now you have to continue, right? Setting yourself new destinations and new heights, setting an example, and keep on moving. Life is not a halt; it's a journey, buddy. Right?
Right, correct.
Right, sir.
Good guy.
Thanks a lot.
Right. I think Ankit's question is well answered over here. We have Mansi Sachan from MBA. Mansi, are you there? Please ask your question.
Yes, ma'am. Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mansi.
Sir, my question is, what attributes or qualities matters most in behavioral interview?
Nice question.
Okay. Now, you take it that when you go for interview, you see what matters. Basically, answer this way so that you understand. You all are going to face the interview tomorrow, and I have conducted more than 5,000 interviews of various levels. So far, too many people are the officers. Interview. I come back to 4 things I say, which are very important. Note down. Firstly, honesty. Secondly, integrity. Third is your self-confidence. And fourth is communication. 4 चीजें अगर तुम्हारे अंदर हैं, तो तुमको किसी भी इंटरव्यू में नाकामयाबी नहीं मिलेगी. Now, I'll elaborate on this. Honesty means what? I don't have to walk into any interview table with the branded kind of clothes or some very exorbitant things. No, just be honest. Have a nice, clean clothes, normal clothes, iron clothes. Walk in there. You're not going for a fashion show. You're going for an interview. You see, sober colored dress. If you're a girl, a nice kind of salwar suit or whatever. Even the westerns you put on, there is no harm. But it should be nice, not too tight, not too loose. You're going for a purpose to get a job, not to get the appreciation for all this. So be honest, one. Second, if suppose they ask you a question and you don't know, and you start giving some silly answers, so that means you don't know 2 questions. Firstly, do not know the answer of the first question he is asked, and secondly, what you're answering, you don't know that too also. So now, although always be sure, my child, that those people who are sitting on the interview table, they are wiser than you. They've got greater age than you. You will not be able to fool them. So never try to fool anybody. If you want to success, it's a best as, sir, I do not know. He'll ask you next question. He'll ask you something else. But make sure that every question you can't say, I don't know. If every question I don't know, then something is wrong. You see? So now be honest to yourself, sir, this I do not know, or I'm not aware. Don't start thinking and moral guesses too. Third, integrity. Always a good interview technique is that once you go for an interview, a smart child, they ask leading question. They will say, suppose he asks you, okay, what are your hobbies? You say something, sir, my hobby is playing football, but I also do painting. Now, this guy will ask you now, you are given a larger spectrum to ask a question, one from your football, other from a painting field also. So you give a leading question. That's as smart. Your integrity, so that he remains in the field where you are confident. You should not give him opportunity to ask a question arbitrarily and then you get you struck. You see, integrity. And the third, I said communication. Do not ever speak when you go for interview more than required.
Right.
Absolutely. Because more you speak unnecessarily, more you're going to reveal which and things may be right, may be wrong, and you expose yourself.
Totally.
Keep a very composite, confident, this thing of follow the basic mannerism. May I come in, sir? If he gives you a seat, say thank you, pull a seat, pull a chair, sit down, say thank you. Keep a normal smile, not plastic smile, a natural smile, first, and be relaxed. Nobody can stop you. Nobody wants to see that you are Einstein. They just want to see whether you are basic knowledge you have and the basic etiquette and mannerism you have, and the institution molds you to the requirement. Okay.
Right. Here I would like to add, like you very well said the practical things over here, but I have also, very short span of time, I have also learned that big businesses are basically built on people only, frankly speaking.
Yeah.
And it's really very difficult to understand a person sitting behind a profile in a small conversation like 30 minutes, as you said, for an interview. So what basically people sitting other side of the table as interviewers, here their role comes in as behavioral leaders and asking behavioral questions, basically where they actually want to reveal or they want to understand that what type of personality you are actually, and whether there is a potential in a person to grow, to adapt, to collaborate, to communicate, whether the person is able to prioritize their task and they can strengthen the culture of a company. So very well said that it is basically 4 things which are very important, as you well defined, for giving a proper good interview. That's not actually being an Einstein over there. Right.
Listen, I must add on to this. Like you said it, there is one more thing. Right behind you is written, you when you go, you want to do something, do 100%, give 100% of your except blood. Okay? So give your 100% and you'll be successful. Except donating blood. Okay? You just right behind your head, it's written there.
Well observed. Well observed. Okay. We have another question from Priya Gupta, our MBA student. Priya, are you here?
Yes, ma'am. Good morning, sir. Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon.
It's okay.
Very good afternoon, Priya. Please ask.
My question is, we would like to know if any difficult decision which you had to make being a leader, and how did you overcome from that?
For me, there is never a difficult or easy decision. For me, it is always right or wrong decision. I always take a right decision irrespective of my emotional state. Generally, people involve their emotions and they get out of the reason. And the moment you ignore the reason, my dear child, you take a wrong decision. So whatever it is difficult or easy or whatever, difficult is very subjective. Something which is difficult to you may not be difficult for me, or something very difficult for me may not be difficult for Divya. You see, am I right? So now you have to be see that you always take with the best of your knowledge the right decision at that particular time. But when you decision जब भी लो तो एक ही बात का ध्यान रखना. Too much of analysis leads to paralysis. Take decision. Never delay. Delaying a decision is burying a decision. Don't worry even if you have taken not so perfect decision. Nobody can take a perfect decision because nobody has got the all 100% inputs. So your behavioral leadership comes in here. Your input should be strong. That is right. And make sure that your output should be strong. And that is right.
Well answered. Well answered.
Thank you.
Welcome. We have Jaya Tiwari from MBA. Jaya, can you hear me, please?
Yes, ma'am. Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon.
My question is, how should we typically deal with conflicts at workplace?
Yeah, see, conflict management is a separate topic, but as far as you are concerned, the conflicts, whatever, firstly, what is the conflicts can be either personal conflicts or a professional conflicts, work related, or many other, you see, you are intrapersonal conflicts, interpersonal conflicts, there are far too many. But I said, good people remain always focused on the job oriented executions and actions. All other conflicts in workplace, if they are related to the work and to the institution, then those should be given priority. And if you cannot resolve yourself, do not keep your personal needs first or your person with you having the conflict first. Always keep your institution requirement first. By your this particular action, your institution, your organization is going to get affected adversely or positively. So act at your own level. Then in any hierarchical organization, in any way, there is always a higher authority. If that conflict, it is beyond you and you cannot handle that, and if you're going to see that, you know, in English, there is a saying, a stitch in time saves 9. If you cannot handle and it's going to affect the institution, immediately raise the level. Go to the next immediate superior, discuss with them. They'll be able to guide you correctly. But learn to manage the conflict at your own level so that they do not rise above.
That's very true. That's very true. To be learned by all these students. Right. We have Rosalina from MBA. Rosalina, can you ask your question, please?
Yes, ma'am. Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon, Rosalina.
My question to you is, we would like to know, whom do you admire as a leader? Can you name a person who has tremendous impact on you as a leader?
Of course. I, without even thinking, can say, my mother, my mother, my mother, nobody else. Right? She is the perfect example and motivator for me. She just read out on my this thing. I have a society on her name, Husna, Women and Child Education and Welfare. Husna is my mother's name. She is 76, and believe me, she is my role model because she's so self-sufficient, so healthy, that I feel that I wish even I had a 10% of her. You see, I would have been a king. And my dear child, remember, if you want to have a role model, have your mother, have your father. There cannot be better leaders or role model than you or anybody else.
Right. Our regards to your mother. Seems so inspiring.
Oh, yeah.
We have another question from Diksha. She's an MBA student. Diksha, are you here?
Yes, ma'am. Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon.
Sir, my question to you is, how far the success of a leader is based on their behavior rather than natural attributes?
Now, Disha, natural attributes, if I get it correctly, I do not know what does it mean. My natural attribute to tell lies make my way. So do you think this natural attribute will help me becoming a great leader? No. तरक्कियों के दौर में उसी का जोर चल गया, बना के अपना रास्ता जो भीड़ से निकल गया. You don't have to be a manipulative. My natural attributes are different to different person. You have to cultivate those negative natural attributes to positive ones. I just said it, behavioral modification. You see, I have everyone. There cannot be anybody who is perfect. Can anyone? No. You have 24-karat gold, you can't make jewelry, you have to add impurity. You see? So there is a balance is the name of life. Everyone has got some shortcomings, some natural strength. Somebody is good painter, somebody is good carpenter, somebody is good musician. And what is it? Somebody is a good actor, somebody has got a natural attitude for flying. I'm a good soldier, natural way. I was a great fighter. माँ बाप ने सोचा फौज में भेज दो, झगड़ा बहुत करता है, because they could understand my natural aptitude. So now, natural, your attributes may be negative or positive. Those negative ones, if you ever heard in the management classes something called SWOT analysis, you see, I'm sure you all know it, your strength, weakness. So now you do it that. You do your own SWOT analysis, you realize what is your weaknesses and how those you can turn those weaknesses to your strength and then opportunities, and then what are your threats you can eliminate. So natural attributes can be cultivated to positive, strong and effective attributes, and obviously then you become a greatest leader in every. Listen, leaders are not something which are airdropped. No. The day you decide to become a leader, you will become the best and effective leader. It is you only matter. So you accept yourself that you have got all the natural attributes, as you said, they are good and effective.
Right. Great. Can we take 2-3 more questions, because I can see a list of questions over here, though I understand the paucity of time cannot allow me to ask all the questions. Can we go ahead with 2-3 more questions?
You can go ahead as long as I'm not hanged.
No. Okay, we have Varun Sharma from MBA. I think somewhere his question has been answered, but since he has raised a question, I would like Varun to ask a question again, please.
Yes, good afternoon, sir.
Hi, Varun. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Varun.
So my question was that what are the most effective behaviors that are associated with leaders?
You got to be calm, collected, composed. You got to have total control on your emotions. And my dear child, a good leader is always strong in the ear. कान का कच्चा नहीं होता. किसी ने कुछ कह दिया, किसी ने कुछ कह दिया, and start acting upon that. Somebody comes and tell me, you see, so and so, you see, sir, he was talking to you about you like this, and I am the biggest foolish leader if I acted upon all this. You see, there is a strong prayer. This thing is, God, give me the strength to realize what I can, and give me the patience to accept what I cannot, and give me that balance, that serenity to understand what I can do or what I cannot. You see, so therefore, maintain that balance, that cool, that calmness in you. Have control over your emotions, and let always reason prevail over emotions. You will never go wrong.
Thank you so much, sir.
Very true. I think today's students or the new millennial need to learn this very effectively. Very effectively. We have another question from Sanchit. He is a student of MCA, and I think his question is somewhere answered. But yes, Sanchit, please go ahead.
Yes, ma'am. Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon,
So I would like to ask that what is the role of behavioral leadership in an organization particularly? Because currently we are doing some courses, but after that we will become employee of an organization. So how leadership can benefit us in that environment?
Good question, but I have answered this question number of last almost 2 hours. But anyway, I will tell. I'll for your understanding, I'll tell you again. No, I will tell you again so that you understand. Suppose I walk in somewhere. I give another example, and suddenly people are running away from me. I've not spoken. I've not said anything to anybody, but people are not coming closer to me. How it can happen? Can it happen or not? Or take another view. I suppose walk in somewhere. I've not spoken a word. I've not done anything. People start giving me smiles. Is it possible? Yes. My body language speaks for it. जुबान खामोश है, मगर तेरी आंखों में लिखा है कि हाले दिल कहा नहीं जाता, पढ़ा जाता है. If suppose I walk with arrogance, with fire in my eyes and fury and ferocity, people will be scared. What is this devil has walked into this room? And my body starts giving negative vibes. Okay? If I walk in with a calm, composed, smiling face, with inviting eyes, you see, people, and whomsoever my eyes fall, I give a smile, short smile. They will also smile back because it is infectious and contagious. And that is what is important of the behavioral leadership. You should be drawing attention of people for positive things. What I said initially, behavioral leadership, influence. Leadership is an influence of personal power. I said that. What is that influence? It is the positive vibes you give around. That is not essential. It is most essential to be effective wherever you work. If your body gives a positive and confident ambience around.
True. The charisma matters.
Yeah.
Right.
Thank you, sir.
Right. We'll take up the last question. I have a message in chat. Pragya, you want to ask a question? Pragya, can you ask a question, please?
Hello.
Yes.
Yeah, Pragya, please go ahead.
Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Sir, everyone is asking what are the qualities of the good leadership, how we can attach as a good leader. Sir, I want to ask a question that how a leader can be fail in any way. Will you can tell me how leader can fail? What are the
listen. Failures and success is again another dimension. A leader never fail. You know why? Because why I'm an army officer? Why I'm valued so much? Because I am leading 5,000 men, 1,000 men. You know why? Because they have got faith in me. I will sacrifice my life first and in protecting theirs. It is the faith, it is the credibility that you impose upon. Leaders don't fail. In the most difficult of the situation, they say in army, if suppose you are defeated and you fall, and what will do the next action? Simple. If I'm defeated, if I'm fall, I will rise again, withdraw myself, prepare myself, and fight again and defeat. There is no question of defeat in any leader's life. He will come back again, strike again, fully charged, and make success and victory. Right? Don't allow this negative thoughts. This is a very unique question. How do the leaders fail? If he fails, he is no more a leader.
Yes, thank you, sir. That's what I want to ask. Thank you, sir.
Yes, stay positive. And I think, Pragya, I am going to answer your question towards the closing of this session. So please wait to hear me.
Yes, ma'am, I'm waiting.
Right.
Okay, ma'am.
Right. Kanal Siddiqui, it has been fabulous talking to you today and discussing. I think every student must be uplifted in spirit by listening individually to their questions asked, and it is an insight. It really was an insightful talk, as well as your personal experience added extra learning on this occasion. So kindly accept from our end a small token of gratitude and thanks. Just give me a second, please. Yes.
Yeah.
This is actually from all of us over here.
Wonderful. So kind of you. Thank you very much.
I think everybody can unmute and give a clap and a loud applause for Kanal sir. Right.
Divya, thank you very much. And I want to wish all of you all the very best in your all future endeavors. And I say in my own way, कि तुम अंधेरों को उजालों में बदलते रहना, तुम चिरागों की तरह राह में जलते रहना. God bless you and thank you very much.
Right. Such a pleasure. Such a pleasure. As I started my talk with a few words of APJ Abdul Kalam ji, so I'll end also and give an answer to Pragya's question also. These words of APJ Abdul Kalam is very close to me also. He said, very well, he said, if you fail, never give up, because FAIL, fail means first attempt in learning. End is not the end, because END means efforts never die. And if you get an answer as no, remember, NO means next opportunity. So I think these words themselves are so meaningful and wonderful. I need not to add anything, yet I will add something. I will add that efforts ensure excellence. So everybody should keep making efforts and keep learning. On this day, I like to welcome all these students all the new students who are joining the family, and assure them that their journey of 2 years with us will be full of fun and learning. Thank you, everybody. Stay safe, stay happy, and keep learning. Thank you.